This video really needs no intro. It is the IOD Holiday Release today, and I am so super excited to share this with you. Let's just dive in. For project number one, I picked up this flower sifter from a recent barn sale. It was beautifully rusty crusty, and I am pulling out the new Christmas Joy Transfer set, and it has this really, oh, you guys, this has got such good vibes to it. It's got some vintage Santas. I love this set. And I knew immediately I wanted this one where he's in this little, I don't know if it's a car or a sleigh. You guys need to let me know. Um, and I picked out that one to put on this piece. And I'm doing nothing to this. I'm not painting it. I'm just going to add this transfer and seal it in with some DIY Big Top and give it a quick sand at the end with 400 grit sandpaper on my finger sander. Seal it in and it's good to go. I picked out this one and then I cut it in half to go around the little handle. And then I cut half of that backer off, which I'm doing here. And then I'm going to apply it again, and then I'm going to rub with the tool that comes with every one of your IOD transfer sets. I'm going to rub the half down, and then I'm going to peel off the other half, and then go ahead and seal that down. This is such a quick, easy transformation. I think at the end, which stick around to the very end, you'll see these all styled up, you guys. They're so beautiful. I am in love with them. I just put a half round in this, but for Christmas, I plan on putting a doily in it and then a big, not a big, but a Christmas tree that's like sized for that and displaying it like that. I think it will be absolutely beautiful. Here I am peeling off that other half. We're going to use that transfer tool to rub it down, and I lined up the part where I cut first. And there are some ridges and bumps in here, but this gave me zero problems. There's no cracking, no lifting. It laid down beautifully, and the final result is stunning. I can't wait to hear your thoughts on this transfer and the rest of what I am about to show you. Don't forget to burnish in your transfers, and that's just simply rubbing it down either with your fingers or with that layer of vellum plastic to just make sure all of your little air bubbles are out. That is the best way to make sure that your piece stays put. And here we are, and then I'm burnishing it. I'm going to give this just a really quick sand over those things, which I didn't catch on video, and then one coat across the whole piece of the big top because I want it all to have the same matching sheen, and this piece is ready to be styled. For this next project, I have been dying to use these. I bought these Christmas tree kits ages ago, right after Christmas, most likely. And I've had them sitting in my storage, and I was so excited for this release to dig these out. So the first thing I'm going to do is give all of these one coat of the Dark and Decrepit liquid patina. This will seal in the wood and also give it that really beautiful aged look. And I am doing all sides of these because this is like a frame that's in the shape of a Christmas tree. So this is a really simple and easy project again. And you can alter these in any way that you want. They are super easy to adjust and do what you need to. I can't wait to get out some milk paint and use them on these frames. And then we're going to just set these aside to dry while we work on the rest of this. And while I'm doing that, let me go ahead and introduce myself. My name is Sandra, and I am the owner and creator here at Midwest Charm. I specialize in repurposed, upcycle, vintage home decor and furniture, as well as all of your crafty needs. We carry Iron Orchid Designs, obviously, because that's what this video is about. DIY paint, Sweet Pickins Milk Paint, Roy Cycled Treasures, and Connie Lines and Designs. And you can find us on all of the social medias, which are linked in the description, as well as on our website, which is also linked in the description. And you can also find all of these IOD products, DIY products that I have used today in that description and linked up so that you can have easy access to purchasing these. And then we can also be found in person in Hinckley, Minnesota. That address is located below as well, and we are on all of the vendor websites for that too. So you can find us that way as well. So we are just finishing up all of these frame pieces. I can't wait to get this put together, you guys. It's so stinking cute, and I have, I think, two more of these small ones and then three of the big ones to use up still. And I am gonna, on this backer, give it a coat of white swan. I should have misted my board a little bit to make the paint go on a little smoother. This is raw wood, so it just really soaked that paint up. But I'm just gonna do one coat. And at this point, I wasn't quite sure what I was doing or why I was even painting it white, because this is normally what you do for decoupage. And I just decided, well, the heck with it. And I pulled out Roy Cycled's new Christmas wallpaper, which I am obsessed with. Um, that release was like a week and a half ago, and I really haven't had time to play with it. So I was really happy to pull this out. And I picked out the plaid side, but I really love that little flowered side so much. So I measured this up against my little backer piece and then cut the size that I needed. And then I'm going to take out my Mr. bottle and I am going to lay this piece on top of that backer, mist it, so that it stretches around the whole piece. And then we're going to trim off any of those long sides so that it's not pulling up or um, pulling it away from the wood. And then we're going to do what I always do when we start our decoupage. I am going to peel back one part of this, lay down a layer of DIY crystal clear chandelier liquid patina, and then smooth it out. And because this has been misted with that water, it's stretched and lays beautifully flat and no wrinkles. It's gorgeous. And then we're just going to apply that liquid patina to the rest of this and then smooth down starting at that top and work our way down to the bottom, making sure that the corners and edges have enough of the liquid patina to really make sure that this gets adhered well. Now, as this dries, it's going to tighten back up and be wonderfully, beautifully smooth. And you can see these papers are strong, so I'm able to lift it back up and lay it back down as needed to make sure that I got all of those wrinkles. We are going to set this piece aside to dry. Once it's completely dry, we will go in with that finger sander and some 220 grit sandpaper and sand off all of the excess paper so that it is ready to go. And then we are going to pull out the new IOD transfer with Winter Botanist. And I had this piece picked out the minute I knew I was going to work on a tree. Now it has these little butterflies on there and didn't quite fit, but I wanted to make sure to include them. So I cut them off and applied them separately, which I am doing here. And then the top one. And then I just lined up, this has the grid, and the grid lined up beautifully with my little flannel plaid black backing. And I was able to line this up, get it laid down, and then I'm going to go ahead and rub this on and peel off that top layer, burnish it in, and then we are going to give it one more coat of liquid patina to seal this all in. It is a decor piece. It probably didn't need that top layer, but I just, for storage sake, wanted to make sure it was going to be well protected. All of IOD's transfers come with these transfer tools, and you're going to end up with a huge pile of them, but you always need them. And they come in handy for other things, such as stirring paint or whatever. I have a stash of them, and I love them. So we're just going to make sure all those little letters are down. If a piece does not lay flat that first time, you're just going to push your piece of paper back down, rub again until it's on there, and again, just double check, and you can always fix those pieces. You guys, this turned out so stinking pretty. I'm in love with it. Let me know below if you think I should have dark waxed this as well to make it look aged, or if you like it as is. Now, let's get back to our frame. The liquid patina, the dark and decrepit, has dried at this point, and I did a loose fitting to know how these were going to fit on there. I've not used one of these before, so I wanted to make sure that I had this all correct. And then I'm using my Tight Bond Quick and Thick and applying a ribbon of glue into each one of the pieces that have the opening for the frame. And then I am going to place the middle size on this frame first because that is the exact length of the one side. And then we're going to place the big one, but I do need to add some glue to the top there, as you can see, to make sure that we get some good adhesion there. And then we're going to slide on that bottom piece with the frame. And I do end up clamping these just with some simple hand clamps. And I can link some below that are similar. So if you guys are looking for them, you'll be able to find some that will do the job. And then once I get the frame completely on, I put a layer of glue on the little base, smooth it out with my finger because I want to make sure that all pieces are connected and the contact is really good there. This just needed a little bit of glue on each of the ends because again, we're looking for solid adhesion and we want to make sure this does not fall apart. And then we are going to set this aside to dry while we work on another project. Make sure that you are using like an artist brush or a Q-tip or something to wipe away any of that excess glue. It dries clear, but it can leave like a little bit of staining on the wood, and we want to make sure that that is not the case. And again, stick around to the very end to see the final results of this. I may end up keeping this one. I haven't decided. I really, really love how it turned out. And I can't wait for the next ones that I do to use some Sweet Pickins milk paint on this frame and get some beautiful chippy paint look on there. I think it's going to be absolutely amazing. Project number 3, I belong to one of Sonnet's creative groups, and she did a cake topper challenge in there, and I couldn't find a reasonably priced one, but I did find this metal bowl, and it's probably for like an old mixer or something, I'm not sure. And I am going to give this 2 good coats of apothecary paint by DIY. I'm on the very bottom of this little can here, so I do end up going and getting a new one out because I did not have enough, even with using water in there. Um, it was crazy. Anyways, I am then going to pull out the IOD Partridge Lane transfer set. I was so excited to see this one. You guys, this is so pretty and delicate. It's got these beautiful, beautiful colors that are not typically associated with Christmas. And there's some pinks in there and some of the mints. And then it's got all these adorable little houses and wreaths. I love this set. In fact, I think I'm going to use it on a little countdown calendar I'm making. I don't know. You guys let me know what you think if I should go ahead and do that. And we are going to pick out some of these bigger houses to go on the sides of this little bowl. We are actually going to turn this into a cloche cake topper. And I can't wait for you guys to see this all done up, you guys. It's so pretty. And I'm picking out the bigger of the houses, and I had originally cut out that second row there, and I went back in and cut out that top row instead, just because the houses were a little bit more substantial and I wanted a little bit bigger. I cut out one of these swags. I just liked it and wanted to add a bit more pink to our color here. And then we are going to do, just go ahead and apply these. And you are going to peel off the backer, lay your piece down, use that transfer tool to rub it on. And this does have some curves on there, so I make sure that that bottom is attached. I cut off a piece, you guys, and that's what you see me doing here is applying some liquid patina, applying the part that I pulled off when I burnished it, and then sealing that in, and then we're just going to let that dry, and you would never even know that anything happened. But we're going to work our way around with these different houses, and there's a bookstore. It is so pretty. I think I ended up using a total of 5 different buildings on this, the swag, and then I did go back in and cut out one more to put on the top. And I ended up picking out a wreath with a pink bow that matches that swag on the front. And y'all, wait until you see what I found to use for the finial topper. It's perfection. I was so happy to find it. It's so beautiful. Once everything is applied and burnished in, I give it a quick rub down with some 400 grit sandpaper on my finger sander and make sure that all those pieces are really firmly on there. And I also distress it just a tad bit. I wanted this to have a little bit of an older look to it. I'm still torn on whether or not I should go in with some dark wax on top of that big top. Let me know below if you think this piece needs dark wax too, you guys. I'm on a dark wax kick. I don't know. Um, as of right now, I left it, and I really, really just love the colors, and it's just got a really beautiful feel. This will be good for all winter season, not just for Christmas. It's just stunning. I am so in love with it. Let me know if you guys plan to purchase this one. It's so cute. And I know some people may be on the fence for this one because of the pink tones. It's beautiful. You gotta grab it. And here I am cutting out that cute little wispy wreath. I love it. I'm going to place this right on the center top and again hang out to the very end to see the final results and see the knob I chose to put on here. Y'all, this turned out so perfect. I love it. Let me know your thoughts below. I know I haven't done a rundown of all of the new products. Make sure you check out our website below and you will be able to see all of them there. I just didn't want to bog down the video with that because I know y'all are watching everybody's video releases today. So I know you're getting a chance to see them. Project number 4 is this beautiful long basket. I think I picked this up at a yard sale this summer, but it really had some red tones to it that I did not like. So I am going to go in with Dark and Decrepit, which is another liquid patina that we used on the frame for that tree. This just is going to hopefully darken up that red color and give it more of a brown tone. I just was not digging the red. It was not really red. It wasn't really, I don't know. I just didn't like it. So I ended up going in with 2 coats of this and letting it dry in between. And I did do the bottom, the back, and then the rim around the top and the handle with that 2 coats of the liquid patina. And you guys, this one may be my favorite piece of all of them. I know I've been playing with all the transfers and I decided I had to do one that was something else. This is after one coat, you guys. It still really was red. So then I decided one more coat should give me the coverage I am looking for. So I decided to pull out a mold to put on this piece. And I am using IOD's air dry clay for this. I am going to warm it up in my hands and just really work it a little bit before I put it into the mold. And to prep the mold, I just use some cornstarch and a fluffy artist brush, dust some cornstarch in there, tip it over, knock out any excess, and then we're going to smush our air dry clay into that. And I chose to use the Saint Nick. I think this is the most beautiful mold. It is so detailed, and this is a really deep mold, so it's a little bit smaller than their typical, but it's so deep and has so much detail. I think you all are gonna love this piece. Now, I debated on using resin, and I just didn't have that nearby, so I just went ahead and did the clay. So here we are with warming that up in my hands. And then we are going to flatten it a bit and then smush it into this mold. And the great thing about IOD's molds is they have these micro rims so that once you get your clay in there and you start to spread it out, you can get to that rim and it just simply makes this beautiful flat cut and gives all that detail, and it just gives it the perfect edge. And it's when you're using resin, it just, you can fill it up to the top of that and it's just beautiful. These also do have on each of their molds exactly how much resin you need to use in these to fill up each little section. This also had like some little um, boughs of pine that I did not end up using. I just wanted Santa on here. So when you get these all pressed in and the back smoothed out, again, you can see me here using that micro rim, just smoothing it out to that edge, pulling it over, and it just cuts it beautifully. Once it's completely smoothed out, and I should have went and got my IOD blade and just smoothed this across the back, but it was good. I am going to just flip this over and start on one side and roll it back, and your piece will just fall right out onto your working surface. It's beautiful. So I'm going to pull this out and go ahead and give this a layer of paint. You guys look at that detail. Is he not fabulous? I just, wow. Wow. They outdid themselves. I'm just going to go in with a coat of white swan on Santa's face here, on all of it actually. The whole thing is going to get one coat of white swan. We're going to go in and let this dry up just enough after I get that coat on. And we are going to coat the back of Saint Nick here with a good coat of Titebond Quick and Thick. And we are then going to adhere this to our basket. Make sure that the surface you're putting it on is completely dry first. I did make sure that my basket was dry before I applied him to it. And then we are going to let him set up a little bit onto the basket and have a chance for that top layer of the clay just to get a slight crust on it so that we can dark wax him and bring out all of the amazing detail. You guys, look at that fly. Oh my word, he was bugging me so bad. But he is just simply stunning. I want to put him on everything, canisters, glass vases, everything. He is just beautiful. A great addition to an Orchid Designs lineup of holiday decor pieces. He's great. He is, I can't say enough, as you can tell. So once he's dry enough, I'm gonna flip him into my hand, add that glue, and then flip him onto our basket. Once he is on the basket, I'm going to make sure that he is fully adhered to it. So I'm going to gently press down on all of the edges to make sure that they are all down and stuck to the basket. You don't want to have a part of him up for things to catch on. So just make sure you go around those edges. Don't push too hard or you're going to lose some of that amazing, beautiful detail. You want to make sure to preserve that. So do everything very gently. And then we're going to leave this sit and set up. Here we are adding that glue. You can see I used a really generous amount. I'm just going to use my finger and spread it. And in the shot, look at the color of that basket. It's tremendous. I'm so happy with it. I love this final look. And you guys make sure to stick around to the end to see these all styled up and to click the description to order yours. And we will make sure to see you guys all soon. I can't wait to get a chance to play with more of this. It's just another great release by the IOD sisters. And here I am just slightly bending this and forming this to my piece and then making sure all those edges are down. That glue will dry, but I did go back in and wipe it up and get this all on. All right, guys, here's a sneak peek. And here are the final results. I love each and every one of these. I can't wait to hear what is your favorite. Make sure you guys post below. Let me know what you're looking forward to working with. I can't wait to have some time to get to work with more of these projects. Look at that pink knob. It is so cute. And that dark wax just made everything pop. All right, you guys, we will see you all next time, and thanks for watching. Make sure you click like and subscribe if you already haven't. Which item are you most looking forward to getting your hands on? I am in love with so many of the pieces. I swore I wasn't going to keep one of each, and I think I might end up doing that. I love it all. It is so beautiful. IOD has outdone themselves once again, and I cannot wait to hear your thoughts on my projects I shared. Which one of those was your favorite? And you guys, we'll see you all next time. Bye.